Hi there YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Auntie's Kitchen. Simple and delicious food cooked and prepared in South Korea. Today we're going to be making pizza. We're going to make two pizzas. We're going to make a calzone pizza today, and tomorrow, and I'll put the video in with today, we're going to be making a margherita. To make your pizza dough, you're going to need some flour, and I use this wheat flour from Home Plus or Emart, some olive oil, some salt, some yeast. I get my yeast from iHerb, some water. Now your water temperature for the yeast to work needs to be between 120 and 130. And as you can see here, I use a thermometer to make sure I can get the temperature to exactly where it needs to be so that the yeast will work in our dough. For our buffalo chicken, we're going to be using a chicken breast, some onion. I'm going to be using 3 peppers, the red, orange and yellow because I like the colours, Philadelphia cheese, some Parmesan, olive oil, and for the spice of the buffalo chicken we're going to be using cumin and some Sriracha sauce with salt and pepper and mozzarella sticks, which will help make our crust really cheesy. I measure out and put my flour, salt and oil into my mixer. If you don't have a mixer, then just use a bowl. My water has reached the right temperature, so I then add my yeast mixture to it and mix it up before I slowly add it to my dry ingredients. I then add my yeast and water to my dry ingredients until the dough comes together. I get my dough out of the mixer and just with my hands work it together into a ball. Then I divide the mixture into 2. One I will use for the calzone pizza and the other I will use for my regular pizza. I then oil 2 bowls and I will put one in the fridge ready for the next day, and the other I will then put in a warm place in my apartment so that it can proof for 1 hour and allow the dough to rise. While my dough is rising, I get on with preparing the buffalo chicken filling for my calzone pizza. I turn on the oven to maximum temperature 230. So probably that much. I also put my baking tray that I will cook the calzone pizza on in the oven so it can get hot too. You don't have to cut your chicken up in the pan, you could do it on the board before you put it in the pan. I like to cut it up because it helps the chicken cook quicker. Add in our onions, a bit more oil. Okay, let's start seasoning. So, some cumin, pepper, some salt, garlic powder, once the chicken is nearly cooked, I take it out of the pan and then with 2 forks I shred it up before putting it back in the pan to finish cooking. Some Parmesan into here. The chicken's starting to get a lot of colour. I will now turn off the heat. The chicken has cooled down, so let's get that in with our Parmesan cheese. Then I'm going to use 2 spoons of cream cheese and some sriracha. Mix this all in. Have a taste. Oh wow. In the middle. And then, okay, oh, not too much. A little bit of flour. Don't want too much on our board, but enough so that the pizza doesn't stick. So this has been rising now for an hour. So with my hands, I'm just going to work it a little bit more. There we go. Not too much. I want to puff out the air. Keep it in its round shape as far as possible. There we go. So then into the middle here, I'm going to put my buffalo chicken. I'm going to put my mozzarella sticks, and that's where I will roll my, excellent, just like that. And any extra I will just break up some at the back there. Okay, so you're going to pull this over. Let me just make sure you can see this here. So I pulled it over there. And then with my finger, fold it over, fold it over. Last thing to do is to quickly egg wash this. You need to make some breathing holes in your calzone. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. Once I've made my breathing holes with my beaten up eggs, I brush over my calzone pizza and this will help it go golden brown in the oven. Well, here is very, very hot, so I'm not going to touch that. Get some corn flour on here, which will stop our calzone from sticking. Put some flour on top of our spatula so it doesn't stick to that. Nice and easy, straight and back into our oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Nice and crispy crunch top. Open it up, just delicious. This was half of the mixture and you can see it is crunchy. You can hear that there. And inside, incredibly gooey and cheesy. It is just an absolute pleasure to eat. And I cooked this inside our oven. If I lift up the base, you can see here, I'm going to do it this way, that it is brown and it is cooked as if it were in a pizza oven or in a stone oven. And the secret is a very, very hot oven. I had it at its hottest temperature. It was 230 and I left the pan that I cooked the pizza in inside, and then at the last minute I put the calzone on top and turned the heat down to 220 for 15 minutes. And it just every time works out like this, a perfect calzone pizza. Thanks for joining me today to see how we make buffalo chicken calzone pizza in an oven with no stone base. Real simple to make. You've got about an hour while you wait for the dough to rise. It is worth the wait. Don't take my word for it. You go and cook it now for yourself. I look forward to seeing you in another video. God bless. Usually for my margherita pizza base, I would make my own sauce or use a regular tomato sauce, but I found this pizza sauce, so I thought we'd try it out today. For our spices, I'm going to be using oregano, rosemary and thyme, and 3 cloves of garlic. Now I will put this into the pan and cook with the tomato sauce for at least 10 minutes so that the sauce is really rich in flavour. Then we're going to be using some Parmesan, some mozzarella, this mozzarella is from Home Plus, and some fresh basil that I have been growing in the apartment. The second half of the pizza dough had been in the fridge. I pulled it out of the fridge and set it in a warm place for an hour. At the same time I turned on my oven to 230 so that it would be hot by the time the pizza was ready to cook. Towards the end of the hour, as you can see here, I start preparing the ingredients and get the pizza ready to cook. First things first, let's get a bit of oil in our pan. I'm going to get our garlic in here first because I want this to cook down a little bit before I put in the tomato sauce. Oh, the smell is incredible. 1 spoon, 2 spoons, 3, 4 spoons. Put in with our garlic. Pizza has a lot of seasoning, so I've put in quite a lot of oregano, a little rosemary, and a bit of thyme. I'm going to mix this up. That's now ready. So I have some golden corn, and I will put this on our pizza tray, and it will stop the pizza from sticking. Out of the fridge, I've had this resting for an hour and a half. Really soft. And with your fingers now, I'm just going to make the edge of my pizza just like this and just stretch it. So let's get our tomato sauce into the middle and push it out from the middle, just like this. Next, I'm going to have some Parmesan. Nice layer of Parmesan, not too much. Then I'm going to put my mozzarella. Now you could break this up in your hands. I'm going to leave it in chunks like this. And then my basil, So my pizza tray has been in the oven for at least 40 minutes. And onto our pizza. And the last thing to do, this tray is very hot, is a little bit of oil. Just like this. And let's get this in the oven. So, 13 minutes. Freshly ground pepper. So here we have delicious oven-baked margherita pizza. Thanks for joining with me today and seeing how we make a delicious buffalo chicken calzone pizza and a margherita pizza. Please go and try this and cook this for yourself and let me know how it goes, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.